The United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 1, known as SDG 1, which is titled No Poverty, is the first of 17 Sustainable Development Goals established under the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Adopted by all UN member states in 2015, SDG 1 seeks to end poverty in all its forms everywhere, emphasizing that poverty is a complex issue that extends beyond income deprivation. It encompasses limited access to basic human needs, including nutrition, healthcare, education, clean water, housing, social protections, and economic opportunity. SDG 1 recognizes that poverty is both a cause and a consequence of broader inequality and instability, making its elimination foundational to global peace and sustainable development. A central target of SDG 1 is the eradication of extreme poverty by 2030. Extreme poverty is defined by the World Bank as living on less than $2.15 per day. While substantial progress had been made during the early 21st century, recent crises such as the COVID-19 pandemic, climate-related disasters, rising conflict, and global inflation have slowed or reversed these gains. SDG 1 not only addresses extreme poverty, but also seeks to reduce by at least half the proportion of people living in poverty according to national definitions, acknowledging that poverty varies across countries and societies. Another core component of SDG 1 is the advancement of social protection systems such as unemployment insurance, disability benefits, child support grants, and universal pensions. These systems serve as safety nets that help individuals and families withstand economic shocks, health crises, and other vulnerabilities. Strengthening and expanding these programs is essential in building resilience, especially among marginalized populations such as women, children, persons with disabilities, indigenous communities, and older adults. SDG 1 also emphasizes the importance of providing all people, particularly the poor and vulnerable, with equal access to economic resources and essential services. This includes secure rights to land and property, access to technology, and the availability of financial services like microcredit. Empowering individuals economically enables long-term stability and mobility out of poverty. In addition, the goal calls for nations to reduce exposure to climate change, natural disasters, violence, and economic instability, since these conditions disproportionately impact low-income communities. Financing is another vital element of SDG 1. The goal highlights the need for significant resource mobilization from international sources, national budgets, and private sector investment. Effective policy frameworks must be pro-poor, gender-sensitive, and inclusive of vulnerable populations. For many countries, fragmentation or underfunding of poverty reduction programs remains a barrier to long-term success. Overall, SDG 1 recognizes that the elimination of poverty is interconnected with progress in health, education, equality, economic growth, and environmental stability. It is not only a moral imperative, but a strategic necessity for achieving global sustainability, peace, and resilience. By addressing the multidimensional causes and consequences of poverty, SDG 1 provides a comprehensive framework for countries and communities to work collaboratively toward a world where no one is left behind. In addition to SDG 1, I suggest a redistribution of wealth. There is the old saying that you can't take anything with you when you pass away. Capitalism has good intentions, but there's not really a beneficial reason for the top % of wealth to be vastly greater than the next class of people. It does not serve a purpose other than perceived greed. If a redistribution was considered, then an idea is to take into account all the expenses listed by the United Nations, allow an individual to cover all of those for themselves, plus a savings amount that makes working optional. If a wealthy person decides to share excess wealth with the less fortunate, then give them benefits in regard to the identified expenses. Building wealth by an individual is an understood goal, and if they choose that path, then wealth should be regulated in a way that humanity benefits.